What's going on, guys? Today I present to you my media investigation where I will be discussing the evolution of Kratos in the God of War franchise. This discussion will be all about the character of Kratos and how his story has, in a way, just gone in one massive circle from beginning to end, and that juicy old bloodstained part in the middle. We will also talk about the narrative theory proposed by Todorov himself and whether or not the story of Kratos fits the mould. Now, we'll begin where his story began, where he is a simple old Spartan, nice life, nice family, nice army, because he is the general. Until one day, when the Greek god Ares goes, hey, I want that army for myself. So he takes them on a murderous rampage through Kratos' village, killing everyone who lives there, including his family, which is what drives Kratos to become the hateful, spiteful character he is presented to be as in the second and the third game of the franchise. Now, this is where I believe the narrative begins, or Toto's narrative theory begins to emerge, as we see his normal equilibrium where he lives a normal life with his family, his army, and we come to the disruption where Ares takes control and kills his family. Now, this all leads into where it all goes a bit wrong for him in the second and the third game, because he goes to retrieve Pandora's box so he can reclaim the powers needed to kill Ares. As you know, he's been a bit angry at the time and wants to vent his emotions somewhere. So what better way than to murder the man who had you murder your family? I guess. Don't know why he couldn't have just talked it out in a nice, calm way. Seems that would have been the more reasonable response to the situation, but hey, he's not a reasonable guy. But this is where he finds out that the other Greek gods were the ones actually orchestrating this whole situation. So he then goes and takes the Titans of Greece to the Greek pantheon, and he just absolutely kills everything. No one survives, apart from Aphrodite. But we're not going to explain why Aphrodite survives, because that just goes on a whole different, more disturbing rabbit hole that I do not feel like you want to hear about. But this is going back to narrative theory here. This could be seen as the recognition and the resolution of his narrative, as the recognition of, oh no, the Greek gods were the bad guys the whole time, not just Ares, and the resolution of, I'm just going to kill them all. I don't care. No one's going to stand in my way. I will murder every single one, apart from Aphrodite. But after this, we hit the sweet life of Kratos and Atreus, where after all this, he goes, no, that's a pretty bad thing. I shouldn't have done that. He does try to kill himself. That does happen. Doesn't work, and he goes on one massive journey where to find somewhere where no one knows about him or what he has done in his past. So he travels to Scandinavia, to Midgard, to meet all of the Norse gods. He gets there, meets a woman named Faye. They start to hit it on, sending them smoke signals, and they have a child. His name's Atreus, and he's back to living his nice normal life. Years later on, his wife does die through natural causes, not through like Greek gods becoming, hey, I'm gonna get you to kill your wife and that lot. So it's a natural death. He's feeling sad through that, but it's what normally happens. Through her last wishes, she wishes to be spread atop the highest peak in all the realms, which is the tallest mountain in the land of the giants. So to be able to fulfill these wishes, him and his son must go on the biggest pilgrimage they've ever done to travel through realms to get to the highest peak. Now I believe this is the new equilibrium of Kratos' story, as he's now living with a family, much calmer life, no one knows him, and he can just calm himself down to where as he was before all of this happened. In conclusion, his character, I believe his character hasn't been pushed forward in a way of it was, but then he was also pulled back to how he started, and he's now living the life he wants with a child. He's training this child so when he eventually dies, as is the cycle of life, that the child is ready to live on their own and not need to live off of others. I would just like to say a big thank you for listening to my media investigation. I hope this has not been a waste of my time and you've learnt something from this. Be sure to like, subscribe and hit that notification bell.